Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome back. Today, we are diving deep now. In astrology, there is decans of how we measure the solar cycle through a constellation or a sign, right? And so the first decan is 0 to 9 degrees. The next decan is 9 to 19 degrees or to almost 20 degrees. And then the third is 20 degrees to 29 degrees. The deep end, right? We're going into the deep end of the pool. So today, in the Sacred Soul Retrieval series, this amazing Pluto portal series, we are going into the deep end. So today is 20 degrees of Scorpio. When we get into the 20s, it is truly a deeper level and it's the mastery zone. So you may notice tests coming up, even more opportunities to observe yourself going between different levels of states of awareness, right? And so you may observe that there's an aspect of you that's reacting from a wounded child piece. And then there's an aspect of you that's holding it high up in that seat, looking down, from that heightened perspective in your God consciousness. And so with the 20 degrees, we have the two, which is so powerful, the unity consciousness starting to merge and blend all of the aspects of ourself, right? So we have our little human, unconscious self, and then we have our higher divine self meeting in the middle, amplifying our personal power and awareness. And with the zero added with that too, then we are stepping into this portal of infinite access, right? Where all is present. Everything is here and nothing is here. We are everything and nothing all at once. For me personally, whenever we get into the 20s of any zodiac sign, it starts to get very psychedelic for me. Also, a lot more of the body experiences as we are doing so much clearing, really observing how this is affecting the physical ascension process as well, our nervous system and our light body. So with this 20 degrees, we are essentially jumping off the edge of the cliff, feeling like we're free falling. At least that's what the conscious mind and the unconscious mind are, projecting with fear, perhaps, or unease or discomfort at the new territory, right? The depths of this new territory. But what we find is we continue to hold fast to this deep dive into self, into soul, into unity of self, is that our wings unfurl when we feel like we're free falling. So massive, massive activations of faith and personal power, and the constant reminder to keep coming back to your center, right? To the grandness of your being, the deep pools of wisdom within, the stillness within. And so with this 20 degrees today, you could notice a lot of sensitivity starting to occur. One thing that's really important to know is that as we're diving more deeply into integrating our God consciousness as being a physical being, having a human experience as a soul, right, as a light being, but in physical form here on the planet, when you activate these higher or increased levels of consciousness, awareness, and interconnectivity, you start to see how desensitized we were in the past, right, with all of this programming that we are unearthing and releasing, and you become very sensitive. You become very hyper aware of your sensitivity. So this is a whole other level of mastery because you start to realize, oh my gosh, on a conscious level, we start to realize that our fields, our energetic fields, our aura, our morphogenetic field, all these different words for the energetic weave that we are a part of creation, you start to realize that your fields go out into infinity. And then you start to realize, okay, I'm accessing a lot of information, even if I'm not consciously aware of it yet, right? We're not quite at that mastery phase yet where we're like sitting there and looking at 20 million things at one time. That will come. We're starting to cultivate that skill. It's a memory of a skill we used to have very easily access to. That was before coming into form, into this dense plane, the duality complex we work through all the time of living in a material time-space continuum of creativity and destruction and all these contrasting forces and experiences and observations. There's a lot of distraction in the human experience, right? And that does not even bring in media and narratives and technology and all of this stuff, right? So we're in a really a hyperspace now in this modern era as ancient wisdom, as ancient souls. So with the two, there also comes a lot more of an emotional sensitivity and a psychic sensitivity. And you may notice like, geez, why am I so sensitive all of a sudden to so much? Because on many levels of unconscious interaction, which is always happening, it's an automatic thing. We're gleaning information, we're feeling collectives, we're purging our own stuff. We start to really feel on a level beginning to understand, just on a micro little tiny slice here of what it means to be a part of infinite creation. And there's a lot of responsibility with this. But ultimately, it's about the self care and the gentleness, right? And remaining partnered with ourselves in our heart space, listening, trusting, following our heart's desires, merging with divine mind and divine will in every moment. But just starting to see, like, whoa, I'm a lot more sensitive than I ever knew because we have done a lot of the clearing of the subconscious. And yes, there's always going to be more. But when you become more clarified and your being becomes more simplified, and you are bringing your conscious awareness and attention to cultivating more of your personal power and the light that you are, and you're accessing higher and higher levels of light, you become hyper aware of a lot more. And then there comes the mastery of not getting sucked in to the fact that you are hypersensitive and allowing that to be a debilitation. So that's the next level, right? And so a great example of this is as we're coming into more sensitivity and more awareness of parallel realities and multiple dimensions and the 4D and the astral realm, right? One of the first things that a lot of people experience is awareness of food, so qualities of food, qualities of frequencies, right? And people can sometimes go off the deep end. And I know I did too. When I had my first major Kundalini awakening, and I went to the grocery store and I realized like none of it was really food, it's all just like packaged chemical things, right? And then the water quality and the 5G and all this stuff. And I was just kind of like, and it can be overwhelming on a cerebral level when you see like, oh my gosh, there's a lot here in this physical reality that's really not in our highest alignment that we wouldn't choose to create or put out if we were up to controlling and doing everything ourselves, right? And so this is where higher levels of sovereignty come in, where you take your power back from the 5G, you take your power back from the pharmaceutical industry, right? Or GMOs or whatever it is, or elf waves, whatever it is where you are giving your power away. The more you become aware of what is not in service for you, then you need to balance that with being of service to yourself by aligning with your divinity and making conscious choices about what does nourish and sustain you. So we're not giving our power over to things that don't align or that are not of the highest integrity. We take our power back to make conscious choices to feed our energy into things that are soul aligned, that are divine, right? So you see how much is involved as we get into these 20s. So I just want to commend you. I'm celebrating you every step of the way of this journey of this soul retrieval process. I thank you so much for being here. This is where it starts to get really hard because there are so many things to look at. We have to worry about others and how they're doing, ourselves, our emotional levels. We have to take care of our physical bodies. We're starting to become really hyper aware of energy and collective energy and different levels of consciousness, super unconscious, super conscious, and feeling it all and letting it all sweep through us, right? And bring up more pieces of the subconscious yet again. So it's huge. It's huge. And not only the 20 degrees in general are a huge mastery for everybody, but we have to take into consideration this time period that we are in. So today is a Tuesday, November 12th, when we're at this 20 degrees of Scorpio, the sun in Scorpio, the massive purging that is happening. We're ending a paradigm right now. It's a very historic time in our evolutionary process to do this great work. And so not only are we doing all the things that we mentioned in this video, but then let's throw on top of it the fact that we are ascending an entire globe, right, in various pieces. This entire galaxy is lifting into the next phase. Some people and beings and elements are already there. We're catching up, right? There are elements within ourselves that are already there in the future. And we're just unifying and bringing and bridging all the aspects of ourself fully into this now to go forward from a unified place and really relish and celebrate the shifts and the changes into the new paradigm. But the deepest work is to liberate ourselves from the old paradigm, where these thought forms and these beliefs and these programs, where we gave our power over, where we allowed ourselves to believe in limit, lack, constriction, separation, enslavement, right? All of these thought forms that were imprisoning us, all of that is being torn out of the body right now, out of our DNA, right now. So dormant DNA strands are coming on. And with that process, then there's a lot of ancestral clearing that's happening at the same time throughout our lifetimes here on the planet as a human, and also going through galactic stuff as well, all the way to the first point of separation. So many of us are also observing issues with the patriarchy, our own father wounding coming up with this ancestral clearing that's going on. And also the mother wound, because everything is interconnected, right? So a lot of us are really observing, like, oh my gosh, there's some serious bloodline clearing up coming through as well. The massive cleanup crew time as we're exiting one paradigm and preparing to enter at our highest the new. So this is no small feat. This is like some of the hardest work any of us have ever done on the consciousness journey. So be sure to take breaks. Don't force yourself to keep going. Just take a little time every single day to continue on your evolutionary process, but make sure that you're watching your mental health and your self-care and taking good care of yourself and nourishing yourself, remembering to laugh, not take it all too seriously. So this is a whole other part of the mastery. Are you able to do the deep work, but also put it down for a moment and laugh and have fun? And remember to nourish the inner child, right? Coming into the quantum playground aspects of playing with your reality, making it fun. So we want to balance the heavy duty grind of all of this internal clearing that's happening with the joy, with the lightness of being as well. So huge opportunities yet again for our mastery going through these 20s. So thank you so much. I look forward to hearing how you all are doing in this journey. Again, this is where the rubber meets the road, and it is hard to keep on keeping on. So if you're still here, you're still grinding through, I appreciate you. I salute you. I commend you. I celebrate you, because the rewards are so great for this work. You can feel the transformations happening. And as you make more space for the new, materializations are coming through, coincidence and synchronicity and collaboration and more resources, right? It's amazing. We're entering the miracle realms by releasing more of the density and distortion of the past, which held us back from these miracle realms, because these beautiful higher realms are actually our true state of existence. We just forgot and we fell out of them, right? And then we got consumed with what was in our immediate reality and view and our emotions, right? So this is part of, as we go deeper within, we're also rising higher. So thank you so much. Congratulations again. We got this. Take good care of yourselves. For me today, personally, a lot of physical light body activation stuff. I feel like my head is like really big. I feel very expanded. There's pressure in the sinuses. I feel pretty out of it. Very spacey. There's a lot happening, you know. So just be patient with yourself. Go slow. Self-care, self-care, self-care. And remember to connect with your love. Thank you so much, and I will see you tomorrow for 21 degrees. Namaste.
Hey everyone, we are going to interrupt this broadcast for a quick little infomercial to share with you several opportunities that we have to go really deep with the information that we are presenting. And we are going to be spending the next 30 days from the 0.0 all the way to the 29th mastery degree of this solar journey with Scorpio and Pluto, diving deep into our subconscious and really starting to access hidden realms of pure power. And we have this opportunity, awakening the sleeping phoenix, if you are really wanting to go even more deeply with applying this information. Here we have the opportunity for you to access pure, untapped nuclear soul power through what we're calling a form of an energetic detox and a massive subconscious cleanup. We have a couple options here to meet you where you are. So if you're on more of a budget right now, we are offering a self-guided soul tour experience where you can actually download this ebook that I've created, Anchoring Your True North. And this is a star map, a manual for your own self-discovery to support your own awakening process, to connect more with your divine purpose. And I'm sharing here 5 of my favorite systems that I have been using in my own awakening journey that have really taken me to new levels, so new depths and new heights of self-seeing. So this is a wonderful and comprehensive introduction to 5 different mystery school chart systems based on your birth chart, your soul incarnation codes. And it's all self-guided. So so I share with you in depth how to pull all of these charts so that you can do a self-guided version if you like. So all you have to do is go log in and create a learner account at the Mystery School site. Details are in the description box below. Click on the True North Compass Guide, and here's some lovely information. You'll start to see how in depth I go with my work. The value that I want to bring is really share a lot of information to support you at these times of transformation. So you can see some of the details here, and to just click and basically get this course added to your dashboard. Then if you want to go deeper, we're offering a mastery class, the Phoenix Rising, Pluto and your cosmic soul keys. And this is a deep dive. If you've ever done any mastery empowerment classes with me, or if you're new to my work, I take you really deep. There's a lot of information in here. We cover so much, and you'll see more when we actually look at the landing page for this course. But this actually includes, for your investment, the full video mastery course, an ebook to go along with it to apply even more deeply what we're covering and explore, and a session with me. For less than the price of one session, you are getting this whole master course and a session with me to review and more deeply anchor in all that we are discovering, all that you are seeing. So I'm here to serve as a sacred mirror for you in this process. When you go to the landing page, you're going to start to really get an idea of how comprehensive this class is. So I'm sharing a little bit about how astrology came to me and my journey, going over the benefits of this class, which some of the most important things to note is this is about embodying your Phoenix Rising key codes and really taking our power back from stories, fears, anxieties, and so on, and an in-depth exploration of your gifts and talents, professions, and also reviewing what you mastered in past lives and what you came here to master for this cycle. And that's just one aspect of the class. We cover a lot, so you can go to the landing page to see even more. These are the systems that I discovered over time, digging more and more and more deep to be able to recognize myself and to trust my service mission and so many aspects of this. And once you purchase this course, I will get notified and I will reach out to you to schedule your session. So thank you so much for checking all of this out, for joining me for this little commercial, and welcome to the Mystery School too. It's fun to share that with you, and we'll get back to the program now.